it can be pretty complicated, but generally speaking, the books or the chapters that we'll read are going to be sort of case studies for what I want your paper to look like. Of course, your paper is going to be a lot shorter or more brief, but basically you're trying to showcase how you think a president dealt with a certain situation prudentially. So basically you're still analyzing a speech, but no longer from the genre situation. You're now analyzing it from this idea of what was the context, what was going on politically, what was there a scandal, I don't know, and then how did the president deal with that from a prudential point of view. So you're in a sense analyzing it, but showing how you think, or making arguments about how you think this speech is showcasing practical wisdom from the president and his speechwriters. Again, grading matrix forthcoming. All the policies, some of the best, when I do research on best practices and online teaching, they always say, because it's some of you, a lot of you know me, some of you don't know me, but I have my little bio there. I've been at Columbia College since 2003, so it's been a while. I'm an American. You can read it. I like chips and salsa. I did. That's actually a true story. My wife and I were in Mexico, and I forgot how to say cheese in Spanish. It's queso, by the way, if you did not know that. Mi español es muy mal. Repeat it in English, por favor. Una más cerveza, por favor. ¿Dónde está el paño? Okay, so you can read about me. Why the heck an online course? One of the reasons why, people know this about me, I think. I don't think that each and every class can necessarily be taught online. And I've never been a huge proponent of online classes. I'm sort of old-fashioned that way. I like to be in a classroom with real live human beings. But I also know, particularly for the folks in the cohort system, you're working full time, you got families, you got all sorts of different stuff. So sometimes it's just the big thing with online learning. It's tough because you have a lot of responsibilities to do a lot of stuff on your own. But it's also amazingly convenient because you can watch the stuff whenever you want to. So I go through all that type of stuff. But I do think this sort of since we're going to be watching, or I'm going to ask you to watch some speeches, and it makes sense. This class fits sort of an online delivery system, I think. But I also say, if the internet is new to you, if the last experience you've had with technology is playing Pac-Man at the 7-Eleven, then maybe you need to drop the course. Because you do have to use technology here. But again, I will help if I can, and if I can't, I will contact IT. You can contact IT. Did I even put IT stuff on here? Well, I'll put some. We'll see. I can put some sort of link to IT on KC. One of the things that's been really, really important to us at Columbia College, particularly with the cohort system, is that we want to, you're finishing your education. In part, I'm sort of old-fashioned and conservative that way. I never have believed that education is solely about getting skills for a career. For those folks who see college education, or even whatever public education, is simply to train folks to go do some job. It's bigger and more important than that. We're training citizens, enlightened thinkers, folks who can actually think, folks who have read great books, all that type of stuff. But with that being said, this stuff is certainly linked, I think, to career development, particularly leadership skills. Particularly with, I mean, you know, one day one of you might be president. You never know, and this is going to, you know, you're on your way with this stuff. And then you can go to what the AARP says about all this stuff, about how the importance of communication. Edudemic, just out in April this year, had more information about the skills that folks are looking for once they graduate from college. And again, you know, communication skills are always in there. And so, again, even though you're not necessarily practicing speeches or giving presentations, you certainly are writing. And by the way, if you don't know, I love rough drafts. Send me rough drafts. You could write your first paper tonight if you wanted to and send it to me. The next page here, I didn't put page numbers on here, I'm sorry. Special note on credit hours. We're told to talk about this a little bit. You can read this and crunch the numbers. Really, there are certain expectations that even though we've got 4 weeks together, we're supposed to be getting in sort of the same amount of stuff that you would get from a full semester in 15 weeks, and you know as well as I do that sometimes that's just not practical. So basically, if we did the math of all this type of stuff, it means there should be 37.5 hours of instructional time over the 4 weeks and 75 hours that you work outside of class. So that's a total of 112.5 hours to devote to this class. Which is divided by 4 weeks, it should have been, means you should devote 28 hours per week to this class. So, yeah, give it your best shot. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. But as I say here, I am hoping to give you not necessarily a quantity education, but a quality education, because that's more important to me. Okay, other course policies. Some of this stuff is just not applicable. We're supposed to have a pandemic policy, and the sick kids stuff is not. But basically, if there's some sort of weird thing that happens, I mean, who knows? Maybe there's a big hurricane that knocks out all the power and stuff like that. I don't know. I will send you messages with carrier pigeons or something like that and let you know what to do. If the world ends, if a meteor destroys the earth, I'm giving you all A's. Makeup work and late policy, just get stuff in on time. It's not hard, and you got leeway, and I give you deadlines, but and I'll go over that in a second, but just, it's not hard. Don't cheat. There's a lot of stuff here I put on netiquette, which I think is very important because a lot of this stuff is totally online, and we're going to be responding to one another online. So please read that. There's like these 10 best rules and something from the University of Illinois Business School that I thought was pretty cool. But take a look at that. Email KC policy again. Constantly check your Columbia College email. Constantly check KC, and I'll try to email you and tell you when things are there. But just, you got a lot of responsibility to constantly be checking stuff, being engaged. I've already talked about double dip. Just talk to me if you've done some stuff that's pretty close to what we were doing, like in the political comm class, and I'll talk to you about it. Research policy. We don't you're not really doing a whole lot of outside research for this class, except maybe for that second paper if you need to do some more research on the context of a given speech, and just maybe to find examples of famous presidential speeches. But I have that information in there. Reading is fun. This is the hard part because it's tough. I mean, we're going over chapters pretty much every single day, and the way that the semesters the June works, if we were face to face, we would be having class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So that's why I'm going to have this stuff online. But try to read all the chapters I'm asking you to read before you watch my little lectures, and I'll have some PowerPoints up and stuff like that, just to help you to get through the chapters. But that's going to be the hardest part, I think. But again, there's no exams or quizzes, so a lot of the stuff is just really up to you. Writing is fun. The Academic Skills Center is open, and it's easy to navigate or to get an appointment if you have problems. And I've read a lot of your papers, and I know a lot of you struggle with your writing. And this is going to be an opportunity for you to improve your writing, I think. But I do expect everything to be very well done. Catch-all civility, again, see the netiquette stuff. Particularly when you're responding to somebody else on our threads, just be very nice and kind. I know that this class potentially could lead to some political debate and stuff like that, but just be very kind and courteous and respectful of multiple viewpoints. You can read my teaching philosophy. Here's the tentative schedule. I do have a teaching philosophy. Again, even though it's asynchronous, I'm asking you to read before you watch. If you watch, I hope you do. Up to you, but you need to, if you value yourself and your education and love America or the world, because I know some of you are international students or from other places, other planets perhaps. Welcome, one and all. So for the Monday, which is tomorrow, this stuff I'm doing right now will be up, and I'll have a threaded topic up. Tuesday, first chapter in Presidents Creating the Presidency. Wednesday, I'll have a lecture on inaugural addresses. BBC News. What went on? Stan Wawrinki produces a stunning display to win the French Open and thwart Novak, whatever. Wow. Triple Crown thing was pretty interesting yesterday. College World Series is about, got super regionals. My Hog's going to be playing. I got my undergraduate from the University of Arkansas, my master's from the University of Arkansas, and my PhD from LSU, and so both are still in it. Hopefully both will be going to the College World Series. We will see. Thursday I'll be covering national eulogies, and then what I say for Sunday, and I give you the Sunday, not saying that you have to do this on Sunday, but just saying that you by Sunday, the end of the day Sunday, this is the 14th, you need to have the first tweet up, the first blog up, and the first thread response to me and response to someone else. Then week 2, State of the Union addresses, have the second thread up, topic up, war rhetoric, and then what I'm doing for that Wednesday and that Thursday, I'm expecting you. Again, it's not a part of the grade, but I expect you to use our hours to work on your paper, and ideally you would send me rough drafts, and I would look at those rough drafts and give you digital feedback, and that's the way, like if we were doing workshops in class. And also, I will, as I say, have speeches up that I would like you to watch, and that's also going to be part of our contact hours. And then Sunday, second tweet up, Sunday, June the 21st, second tweet up, second blog up, second set of threads up, and also paper 1 due, June 22nd. And do not upload the papers to KC, simply email them to me. Then we move into week 3, the second book,